We are live from the Canada Light Expo. Nope, hang on. We're live from the Canada Light Expo 2024 here in beautiful Ontario, Canada. I got my Ontario cap on, and it's Get a Grip on Lighting here. I'm with Robert Lanteigne from Lightbob, and he's our first guest on the live stream from Canada Light Expo. Welcome to Canada. I know you're from Quebec, but you said you came here from Florida.
Yes, I live in Tampa now.
You live in Tampa now?
Well, Clearwater.
What is Lightbob?
Well, Lightbob is it's a funny story. I got to tell you this.
Okay.
I started my career about 4 decades ago.
Okay.
And my boss, who hired me, his name was Bob. And then we had another Bob. He was the sound designer, and I was the lighting designer. And I don't, when you were way younger, we had phone with buttons.
Sure, yeah.
And then the receptionist would say, Bob, line 2. So it was like a war.
Yeah.
So one day, the boss came in, and he's like, okay, that's it. You're Light Bob, you're Sound Bob, and I'm Bob. And I instantly I said, oh, cool, I'm Light Bob. So I went and bought the domain, lightbob.com.
Okay.
So.
And when was that?
That was in the 90s.
In the 90s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
So what does Lightbob do?
Well, over the years, it evolved.
Sure.
Right? I started as a lighting designer. I did some custom lighting. I did some install. I did troubleshooting. I did fixture design. I have a master in lighting design.
Okay.
I went to Parson. I was very blessed. And I educate people. I did the whole spectrum. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do now.
What are you going to do now?
I'm going to space.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You're taking those Tesla rockets up there?
No. Well, right now I'm working with a Canadian rocket, spaceship builder, and I'm bringing lighting to space.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I start an aerospace company.
Which one?
Well, it's called Orbit M.
Orbit M. Is it here in Brampton? Or
no, it's in Florida.
It's in Florida, okay.
Yeah. It's a brand new project.
Wow.
And what brought me to that was additive manufacturing.
Wow, so the 3D printing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now we don't need anything. We don't need to have a 30,000 pound press that, we can do like Tony Stark stuff.
Wow, yeah. There's so much innovation. I think we sometimes we need to step back and think, this is magic, some of the stuff, the technology we have.
Absolutely. We live in a very, very exciting time.
Yes.
But we just don't know how to deal with it, right, with all this technology.
Sure.
So nanotechnology, additive manufacturing, all of that and there was no room for me on Earth. Seriously, you're talking about the bullshit, right?
Yes.
And you go to a manufacturer and say, I want to do stuff with nanotechnology. Okay, how much is it going to cost? Well, I need 30 million, 40 million. What? Are you kidding? No, get out of here.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And there is cool stuff that you can do.
Sure.
My mentor, I was mentored. You ever heard the name Abe Fader?
No.
Abe Fader was a legend lighting designer. He light up the Rockefeller Center.
Okay.
So they'll just tell you who he is.
Yeah.
He passed away. So Abe was telling me one day, I said, hey, what's the future? He said, we should have paint that light up.
It's going to happen.
Well, of course. We're going to work with nanotechnology.
Yeah.
So all of this new technology, all the way we're building fixtures like old cars, we take a Volkswagen and we put a rocket in it and say, oh, this is a rocket. No, this is just a Volkswagen on steroids.
Sure.
And no matter what we do, it's going to fall apart.
Yes.
So that's why, you probably got hangry because you see these manufacturers working and putting LED engine into an old shell and selling it at exorbitant price when they pay the casing $5, the LEDs $6.
And it's crossing the Pacific Ocean from the same factory. Okay, so I don't want to be critical of people's business models.
No.
There's a need for low cost fixtures, and it's good to commoditize. Commoditization brings technology to everybody. That's why you have a phone in your pocket and you drive a car. That's commoditization that does that. That is that force which equalizes technology to everybody. But my concern more, So I see two lighting markets emerging. One of the reasons why I started get a grip on lighting is I didn't like purpose-built LED light fixtures. So we have a joke. Okay, my company's Lighting Solutions.
Yeah.
We have a joke on our booth at the Property Managers Expo right over here. It's starting tomorrow, right around the corner. Not property, condo conference, right around the corner over here. We have a joke. How many electricians does it take to change a light bulb? No, sorry, the joke's on you. There is no light bulb.
Exactly.
Right? So the industry has completely abandoned standardization in light sources.
Yeah.
And it's a big problem. What do we do about it?
Well, I had the same shock because, like I told you, I evolve with the lighting.
Sure.
Recently, when I moved to Florida, it took me time to get my cards and this and that. And then one day I said, I'm going to go back to lighting because I took a break for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 15 years I did, merger and acquisition. I did all kind of crazy stuff.
Sure.
But it's all related to me, right? It's all related to expansion. And also I was tired of hearing other people's bullshit. I said, I'm going to do it myself.
Sure.
So I went into school and learned it again. I got back in lighting. And do you know who run the show now in lighting?
No.
You were talking about
who's
the electric?
Yeah.
AV guy.
Yeah, it's happening in the homes for sure.
Yeah. The AV guy.
In the residential market for sure.
Even in commercial, you have these professional integrator. Now they're waking up. They're POA lighting. They do all. I was shocked. Because I mean, at some point in my career, when I was 18, I worked with an AV company, and my job was to bring lighting into it and integrate control.
Sure.
Right. But I was 18. That was many moons ago. and them too. It took about 3 decades to catch up.
Sure.
And now they're starting.
What I see in the same line is like this merging of theatrical lighting with general lighting, with the controls piece.
Yeah.
There's almost like a merging, and AV, what you brought in is the AV is another portion of that's going to merge together. And I was just talking to Webster Marsh, one of my colleagues who's the Lighting Controls podcast host, and he was saying that actually everything's merging together.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to have electric charging station connected to the lighting, connected to your heat pump, connected to everything.
IoT.
This is going to happen now. People used to talk about it, but it's coming now.
Well, right now, just go walk to the show. You see these intelligent plugs. You see these sensors that already are, Zigbee and then all Wi-Fi and the meshing and all that stuff. Lutron, like Lutron was their whole battle. I don't like to mention name, but I love the way that they evolve.
Yeah, sure.
They went from wiring to a thing. Now they have all these intelligent nodes and bulbs. You don't need wire anymore.
When I think about I think about the invention of the dimmer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Lutron, I think, invented the dimmer, the resistance dimmer. I think that's their big invention, right?
It was like this.
Yeah.
You're too young.
With the knob, you push it, and it goes off, and then you push it on and you turn it. Yeah. I think that's their that was the innovation that started that company, was I think it might have been Leviton. I could be wrong. Sorry, you guys out there.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was a stepping stone.
But think about where we've come since then, and it's astronomical how fast technology is evolving. What was your educational piece about here at Canada Light Expo?
Well, I was talking about colors.
Okay.
And the funniest thing is that I just wrote a book. I started writing a 400-page book.
Okay.
And then I put him on a diet, and it ended up being a 40-page book.
That's good. I like that.
Because what happened, I realized is that as you walk to the show, same light fixtures, you hear 5 people talking about it, totally different lane. So I said, let's go back to the 40s when the first book of IAS was done, and then let's start with the basic standards.
Okay.
And so that's what my book is about, the basic. So and in my book I have a little chapter about color, and doing this you got bombarded with colors and words and shit you don't understand, and you're like, why are they talking to me? Yeah. And I'm the same. Right, I've been doing this for 40 years, and then I have these geek coming in and arguing 0.01 with 0.02, and I'm like, what does that change? Nothing. You don't see.
Yeah.
But why is that when I walk into a place I feel good, and other place I feel bad? And it's not because it's cold or warm light. It's the way that it's integrate into
Sure,
the
I agree with
space.
that totally.
So
Yep.
in some place you do need 5,000 degree.
Sure.
Some other place you need 2,700.
Some
And-
places you need 1900.
Exactly. Plus, you can have all this with what you were saying about control.
Yeah, sure.
So now, at the same area, we can transform it and highlight different piece of this area, this room,
Sure.
with color, with control, with